What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at you again with that fire. As always, spitting the hot topics, getting the sports conversation started. We got a good one to get into today. COVID versus the NBA. COVID versus the NFL. COVID versus the NHL. It's wrecking sports right now. Let's talk about it. So we experiencing some COVID outbreaks, as everybody's seeing right now, having a rise, a surge in the COVID virus that's affecting sports. Remember when the pandemic first hit us and we really knew it was real when sports shut down and they weren't playing any games anymore. The NBA stopped, baseball wasn't happening at the time. Hockey stopped, everything stopped. The NFL was over at the time, so they didn't have to deal with that stoppage. But everybody else was affected by it. The NBA went into a bubble when they eventually came back, which was successful. And then the NFL limited fans and found ways to get their season going, as did baseball when it resumed, NHL, and so on and so forth. Now, when we thought we were in full flux, we were getting into the sports season and looking forward to some really good games. Here we go, getting hit again, but they are not canceling games. Well, I shouldn't say they aren't canceling games. They're not canceling the season as of yet. So, what does this mean for us as sports fans? The first thing that it tells us is this thing is real out here, people. COVID exists. It is not just a pandemic. It's not just a situation where it's a money grab out here and lives are being sacrificed. We got a virus out here that's plaguing not only our nation, but the world, and is ravaging the sports world right now. So the answer, or the more so what we need to figure out, is how they're going to be working around it. Now, leagues have had to postpone games because too many players are missing to actually fulfill the obligation, that the number of people they need for some of these games in order to have them available to play. Football, hockey, basketball, all the sports. And it's seeming as though, and let's focus on the NBA, where a lot of the players are vaccinated. They're still getting the virus. And I know a lot of y'all out there are probably like, that's because it don't matter if you got the vaccine or not. All that matters is that the virus is going to get you one way or the other. And there's partial truth to that. The vaccine does help to not only prevent, but more importantly, if you get it, bring down your risk of severe illness, help you recover a little bit faster, keep you out the hospital, that type of stuff. But for some, it also even is preventing. But yes, the possibility that you can catch it is there. It's not 100%. That being said, the NBA has a product that they are trying to continue to give to the public that wants to see it. Not only do they want to see it on TV, but people want to frequent the games. They want to go to the games, and of course, the NBA would love to get that money if it's in the safe space, if they feel they can safely conduct it. And right now, they're still trying to pull that off. So with the NBA, they've started to allow replacement players to participate if teams need it. We've seen the Bulls miss the games they've missed. Other teams have had to postpone. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets have been missing a few games, which has caused other teams to not be able to play them because they don't have the required players to even get out on the court. They brought Kyrie Irving back as if that was going to help, but he has COVID. So they're all dealing with it. So replacement players may be a thing, but I don't really think it's going to be a thing for too long. Now, I will say replacement players is a good opportunity. Guys in the GLeague, You know, other guys who may have got cut didn't quite make the G League and the NBA. These are opportunities for these guys to show what they can do if they can make it and play, if they want to play. And of course, if they're vaccinated, depending on what city they may happen to be in. So that all factors in. But it's a good opportunity, and hopefully some guys get to take advantage of it. But we need to take into account that right now the surge we're experiencing is a predictable one. See, with everybody being vaccinated, in my observations, a lot of people have started to lax what they do as far as precautions. A lot of people out here thinking they invincible because they got the vaccine. Because while it has helped a lot of people, it hasn't helped everybody, but they see the majority of people being helped by this vaccine and think they're invincible. So we're wearing our masks less, we're hanging out in bigger groups, we're having parties and cookouts, and coincidentally, now during the holiday season, we're really having parties and gatherings and getting together with people we ain't seen in maybe a year or two, trying to enjoy ourselves, trying to establish some resemblance of normal. Problem is, if you're not wearing your mask in these environments, you haven't seen these people in quite some time. Who knows what they've been doing behind closed doors and in other spaces, who they've been seeing. You're inviting a whole host of problems. Some of them may be vaccinated. Some of them may not be vaccinated, which does matter as far as this, how susceptible people are for carrying the virus and having severe symptoms, which help to spread the virus. So all of that type of stuff factors in, and everybody's doing the best they can out here. Some folks have medical issues. Some folks just don't want to take the vaccine. Some folks have taken the vaccine, but regardless, what is going to be needed to help sustain this or to reduce this problem for these sports leagues is really going to just have to be a tightening up of what we do in society, and that includes the sports athletes. We got to mask up more, double mask. Getting vaccinated is a good thing if you're not vaccinated. It does help to increase your protection. But you also got to social distance regardless if you're doing those other two things. Try to keep your group, your trusted group, your trusted friends, keep those folks close knit. Meaning not large groups, select people that you're going to be hanging out with and keep it those folks, your VIPs, so to speak, as best you can. Even the athletes. We always cry about, well, what about, people's freedoms? They should be allowed to go out and do things. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars to do a job. When you're in the military, you ain't getting paid millions of dollars, but you got an obligation to do certain things that you would rather do other stuff, but you made a commitment. You can't just leave that commitment either just for no reason. In the NBA, you're making a commitment, as well as the other leagues, to try your best to be available. Just like you got to avoid, or you should avoid, dangerous activities like riding motorcycles without a helmet, or even just competing in a car race out, with your homies, or wearing your mask appropriately and properly, social distancing, taking the vaccine, wearing a seatbelt when you drive. All these things help to protect you so you are available to your team. I personally don't believe that everybody is taking all these precautions, because how often do we? But I do know and saw that as a nation, we buckled down and did more than we were used to doing when this thing hit hard first. And I've witnessed us lax off. So it's time to strap up our boots, put on our big boy and big girl pants, and do a little better. And realize this is the holiday season, and during this time, there's always going to be spikes, whether it's COVID, the flu, the cold, viruses get passed during the holidays when we're gathering with more people, and also just during this season. So We'll see how it affects things moving forward, but I anticipate as it gets out of the holiday season, even before the cold breaks and we get warm weather, the surge will go down. Won't be as much of a need for replacement players. Now, the biggest question is going to be, will the leagues mandate any of these restrictions? Will they tell players, you know, you got to report to the facility, you can practice with the players. When we done, we go out as a team, maybe places to have some food. You can hang with your family and close friends, but keep it down to 10 people or less or something like that. Fine them when they ain't wearing their mask in the appropriate places. Things like that may help to encourage people to do a little better. And it may help us to see this product that we all want to see. I really hope we don't miss these Christmas games. I was looking forward to them. I hope the Super Bowl doesn't get affected. Definitely the NFL playoffs, March Madness, come on. But it's going to be some things we got to deal with. At this point, COVID right now is part of the injury report, people. Sprained ankle, torn shoulder, strained knee, COVID. Just what it is. It's the life we in, but we can get through it. And I hope that we do, and we do what we need to do. And I hope sports is able to withstand this and not have to completely shut down. What y'all think about the situation? All right, that's all my time. Remember what you're looking for. J Heat Sports Media. All one word for the sports media. J and Heat, separate words. Remember, I'm on YouTube. Most importantly, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell. Please comment. Hate if you need to. Whatever you're feeling. Also, catch me on Instagram at TheVaultJMU414 on Twitter. And of course, what's up, TikTok? Holla at you next time.